All right, we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got a lot to talk about in our live stream. I'm sure one of the first things on everybody's mind is like, hey, why is this, crypto dip continuing to dip? All right, is this a dip? Are we going to go into a bear market? Is the bull market over? What should we expect next? Okay, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at a lot of other news updates that have happened in the space since our live stream yesterday. Again, we do these live streams Monday through Friday on this channel. Just subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll find out about those whenever we go live. We're going to answer some of your questions from the live chat replay, from the live chat here, and also on Twitter as well. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to master blockchain step by step, start to finish, head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. Last but not least, like nothing I'm saying in this video is designed to be financial advice, and there's lots of scammers down in the comment section below. Just ignore them. Like, I'll never give you my phone number or ask you to invest with me. So we got people jumping in the chat here. We got Automatic Beats and THX Like This, ADM, Wendy, Cryptechology, ZeroFX, Ken, I hope I'm saying that right. Lots of other people. Awesome. Welcome. So guys, a lot of good questions in the chat here already. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about today, simply because this is what everybody's talking about, is what's going on with the crypto markets. Like, why are the prices continuing to drop lower than we've seen over the past several days? If you look at the past 7-day trend, it looks pretty bearish. All right. So if you're brand new to crypto, this is something that is part of the normal experience. Okay. So I'll say this, right? If let's just say that you got into crypto over the past, I'll say 2 months, then you probably have not experienced anything like this yet, right? Let's say, maybe you have a little bit, right? So maybe if you started right here at the end of September, that's about 2 months, right? This is the first time that you've probably seen a dip that causes people to kind of freak out. Well, if you've been here all year, then you can help, some of the people who are experiencing this for the first time, because we've seen this happen, we've seen this happen, we've seen this happen, and then we've seen this happen all the way before we get back to new all-time highs here, okay? So crypto is not a straight line up, regardless of what a lot of people would cause you to think, and now you're kind of experiencing that for the first time. Now, one of the things that makes this, even more scary is like nobody knows exactly what's going to happen next. All right, we always have to think about these things in terms of probability. Okay, so what do I think is most likely to happen? Or said a different way, what do I think is least likely to happen? I think what's least likely to happen is that, if you're in major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and ETH, that the top is just in and that there's like no hope in sight, and then we're going to go into some really prolonged bear market. I really just don't think that's going to happen for all the reasons I keep saying over and over again on this channel about, the adoption of the technologies themselves, the network effect increasing, all that type of stuff, and that value creating the cryptocurrencies. I just don't really see a scenario barring some sort of black swan event that affects either all of crypto systemically or the entire world systemically that would cause us to do that. Okay, so if you rule out that possibility or make it the least likely scenario, what else could be on the table? So basically, I've been talking about for a while now that we're in that we have been due for some sort of at least short-term correction. Crypto does this, all right? We've been in extreme greed territory on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Leverage has gone up. We've been talking about in the live streams, like, hey, it would not surprise me if we saw some sort of, dip on the map, okay? So I think we're getting that. Now, the question is, can we dip further from here? We definitely can dip further from here. We've seen, significant dips. We saw, 20, 30, 40% corrections in throughout this time period. All right, if you look at this, all right, this was $40,000 all the way down to $30,000. Okay, and then of course we then saw this massive one that took us a long time to recover. So the sharper the dip, the longer the recovery, typically speaking. So we might even dip further from here, but I really think that we have. I really just don't. I think it's not super likely that we have broken some sort of long-term uptrend. Right, we may be experiencing our first kind of violent dip on that uptrend, or maybe the second one if you want to think about this one being the first one. But crypto is volatile by nature. That's just what I would say. And for all the reasons I keep laying out on this channel, I really don't think that our uptrend is gone. So as always, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy the dip. I'm not saying that to take that, to the bank and bet your life savings on the information that I'm giving you. It's not what I'm saying at all. But that's what I personally think is the nature of the situation, and that's what I'm doing to make my own decisions. So, but I will say, if you are new, and this is like one of your first or second times experiencing this, just try to remember how you feel right now. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, this will help you over the long term in crypto. Because one of your biggest, risks in crypto is not whether crypto is going to go away. It's your own actions, right? If you panic sell, in times like this, like, that's going to lose your ticket. So there's lots of potential downsides other than just like something happening to crypto. So just remember this time and how you feel and what happened after if things end up turning out favorably, which I think that they will if you are patient. Okay, so let's look at a developing story that I alluded to last week, but I want to bring up again, which is what's going on with the DAO that's trying to buy the U.S. Constitution. Okay. Let me just see here. Hold on. So we're starting to see this reported across major news outlets. It's on the New York Times. They love crypto. They're trying to buy the Constitution. Okay. So we'll look at an article that's a little more crypto native, I would say, or written more towards a crypto savvy audience. From CoinDesk. So ConstitutionDAO raises $27 million on the eve of Sotheby's auction. People could be the reason. Okay. So basically, let's just take a look at some of the details here. So crypto nerds are on the precipice of pulling off the caper of the century. So what started as a long shot bid for decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, to buy one of the 13 original copies of the United States Constitution is looking more and more possible as the group has now raised $27 million and counting, well above auction house Sotheby's upper estimate of $20 million price. So basically what's happening is an original copy of the U.S. Constitution is being auctioned off at Sotheby's auction house, and basically people have formed a DAO to try to acquire it. Okay, so it's actually really interesting, okay, because I've been talking about DAOs some on this channel, and we're just scratching the surface on what you could do with use cases for DAOs. So this is decentralized autonomous organizations, which basically are just an entity that's governed by smart contracts and token holders. Okay. So basically, think about it this way: like, we have lots of different legal entities in the United States. You got, individuals. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I've seen some lawyers like comment in the chat like law is outside my expertise for sure. Definitely lean on the lawyers for the formal explanations and the technically correct explanations. But the spirit of what I'm saying is true, even if some of the details are a little bit fuzzy. So basically, you have like individuals, right? You've got things that are not individuals that are legal entities. You got trusts. You got corporations. You got all this type of stuff. So a DAO is kind of like this new thing that's kind of like that, okay? So basically a DAO, we've seen legislation pass in the United States to let DAOs become recognized as LLCs. So essentially you've got this entity that can actually have legal status that can be, governed by smart contracts and governed by token holders that can do stuff, right? We don't know what the stuff is in that category. We're experimenting with new things all the time. Like we've seen decentralized applications convert over to DAOs, where the DAOs actually govern what happens with the applications themselves. That's a pretty easy, logical extension, is basically DAOs replacing the companies that govern those things. But we've talked about DAOs for cities, potentially. I made a video yesterday about crypto cities and how DAOs could function in that regard. And now we're seeing could you form a DAO to just acquire assets, right? And, do things with them. So this is an example. It's like, this is an early experiment. What can you do with DAOs? So can you form a DAO and then buy a copy of the U.S. Constitution? Like that's pretty crazy. All right. And that's who legally own this. So how do DAOs run? Well, basically you have a token that lets people, and this is the most common way, is you have a token that lets people vote on the decisions. You have a governance system, right? And you say, and typically, that governance system is just saying, what can you do with money, right? We have a bunch of money pooled here, and we want to decide what we do with the money. And so we make proposals about how to disperse those funds. So there's lots of applications here for anybody who has to steward capital in some way and deploy it, and there has to be group decision making on how that capital gets deployed, or just to pay for it, whatever reason, right? That's a pretty good example of DAOs, and you're seeing this play out in real time here. So this will be a historic moment for crypto if they're able to actually do that. No pun intended. I think we're just scratching the surface on what we can do with DAOs. Somebody says, tomorrow Clubhouse founders was talking on Clubhouse to make Clubhouse a DAO. Somebody says, where will the Constitution be stored? Just keep it safe from Nicolas Cage. Okay, so let's look at a couple other things that are popped up that I want to talk about. So, I mean, going back to crypto prices is, basically like another reason that I really don't think that crypto is going to be, long-term bearish anytime soon is, it keeps popping up into the public conversation. We're seeing, seeing lots of talk about this in the U.S. government. There's some congressional, I don't want to get the word wrong. It's basically congressional gatherings of some kind to discuss like crypto policy. It's coming up more and more and more and more, showing its face everywhere. Awareness of crypto is growing. We saw this yesterday on Twitter. Ethereum is trending. The most common misspelling of Ethereum is trending with an I, Ethereum. This is a super, super, super common. And it's really funny that the misspelling even got traction trending on Twitter. Maybe because they suppress the regular spelling, and the misspelling is actually what trips their algorithm and lets it bubble up. I don't think so. It's just a funny conspiracy theory. Okay, so let's see. Somebody says, let's see, how can we interact more with students, want to improve confidence with level of my dev skills, and wouldn't mind entry-level type workshops? You think about this? Yeah, we've been thinking about how we can do more workshops, and how to make that, feasible. We got a lot of ideas in the hopper. We got a lot of ideas to release in 2022, as that's the year that's coming up. So I've been blocked from launching a ton of ideas that I personally want to launch. I think they'll be good, just simply because I've been working a lot of other things. I've been holding that up. But as soon as those blockers get unblocked, there's a lot of big stuff coming down the pike. So definitely stay tuned. You'll find out about those as soon as they are available. Okay, so we even got speaking of crypto awareness going up. We're seeing where's the ConstitutionDAO at Sotheby's auction house. The social trends on Twitter. Governments talking about what should we do with crypto. Time Magazine partners with Galaxy to educate readers about the metaverse. Okay, so metaverse is definitely a buzzword that we're going to continue seeing more and more and more of, and the frequency of that, I believe, will increase. Okay, especially because of what Facebook did. I mean, honestly, like love them or hate them, Facebook is going to be a key influential player in the metaverse and shaping the future of it. And one of the biggest ways is just by awareness, okay? Love it or hate it, especially at this phase in the game. We're like ground zero for the metaverse. Like we're at mature infancy is what I would say for like crypto and DeFi, all that type of stuff. But we're in absolute square one, for metaverse. Like I would say we haven't even really come out of the womb, so to speak. So That being said, Facebook has a lot of influence over, what's going to happen with the metaverse. They're going to be huge for awareness in the metaverse. And I think this is no exception. Okay, so if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, basically Facebook, the overall company that owns Facebook, the app, Instagram, Oculus, WhatsApp, that company changed its name to Meta, and now they have pivoted to being a metaverse company, not a social company. So yeah, they're betting big on that, and that sends ripple waves throughout, the whole watching world. Somebody says Fed report not looking good for the market. I'm not following the Fed report right now, but you might be right. Somebody says they saw me on CNBC. Was it an interview, or was it just like somebody featured my video or something? Can you, how would I find it? I wasn't interviewed for CNBC. Maybe it was somebody who looks like me. So CNBC might have, picked something up. Was my thumbnail on YouTube? Says he'll link it. I don't know if you can post links in the live chat, but I want to see it. I want to pull it up on the stream. Someone says a story about how in-demand crypto courses are and how universities are picking it up. See if you can. See if you can find out what it's called, and then maybe paste the title in the chat, because it's not gonna let me. It probably won't let you. It probably won't let. Probably won't let you push a link in there. But see if you can find a headline or something like that. Somebody says probably trolling me. I mean, if he's trolling me, then he's gotta post a title and prove it. And if it's like a Rickroll or something like that, I'm not gonna just gonna flash it on the screen without looking at it first. Okay, so while he's looking at that, let's look at a couple other things here. So another thing is, we're seeing insane valuations in the crypto space for, companies and, just decentralized protocols. So basically, OpenSea Fields investment offers at $10 billion valuation. That's pretty crazy. $10 billion company that was created in... I remember when OpenSea... I can't remember officially when they first launched, but I remember using OpenSea, I believe it was 2018. So 3 years, from 0 to 10 billion in 3 years. It's not too bad. So the other thing that's important is, really important is basically, other people are seeing this and seeing what the upside potential for creating an NFT platform is. Now, it's really hard to do, but this has attracted, people like Coinbase into the system, into this arena, right? And, Coinbase has launched an NFT platform. I think they're seeing how profitable this is. Some people said that the Coinbase NFT business could even be bigger than the crypto business in terms of revenue, and therefore fees for the company, for shareholders, all that type of stuff. So basically, people are saying what a massive opportunity this is and want to steal some of that market share. So the other thing that's important here, as we talked about this some on the channel, a lot of people think that OpenSea, for this reason, could be a prime candidate for an airdrop, for an airdrop token. Okay, so we don't know that for sure, but just kind of connecting the dots, is that one of the big benefits of airdropping a token is to retain loyalty to your early adopters. Okay, it's kind of one of the things now in the Web 3.0 playbook that differentiates it from Web 2.0 is rewarding early adopters and having some of that be stickiness long term. So, we could see an OpenSea airdrop as an answer to lots of other people wanting to take some of that, market share from their $10 billion valuation. So Colby says that's the link. So I don't think it'll let you share a link. So if you can tell me what the title is, I can look it up. Like the YouTube chat's not going to let you paste out a link. It's because it doesn't want you to link to scams and stuff. Just paste the title. Google's going to find the title. So let's see here. How am I feeling about NFTs? Still positive about them, and are they still driving crypto along? So in terms of the market force and what's going to happen to the price of individual NFT collections over time, I never tried to make any real informed calls on what each project is going to do. I think NFTs as a class can continue to trend upward over time. Now, it's a very, very new class. Okay, so anytime something's really, really new like that, there's a ton of risk, and then that makes picking individual NFTs even harder. And then you have this extra problem of NFTs that they are literally non-fungible. And so when they're non-fungible, they're less liquid than cryptos, because it doesn't matter which Bitcoin you have. You can only sell a Bitcoin for US dollar because somebody just wants to buy a Bitcoin. They don't care which one it is. But NFTs are a story, right? They may not want to buy your particular NFT. So, I mean, long term, I think NFTs as a category can do well. I don't know which collections are going to go to zero. I think a lot of collections will go to zero. But yeah, that's kind of my quick take. So Automatic Beat says, or send the link on Twitter. So let me just see universities ad. I'm going to look at this up. There actually is a CNBC video. That's funny. I wonder if it's real. Let me just look. I'm going to preview it, make sure it's not I
think that as long as we put it together.
Learning about blockchain is about a lot more than finding.
Scan it and see if I can find the. We'll see if I got famous, everybody.
Put it together.
Learning about
let's just do it live. I'm just going to share my screen. We'll see if it actually pops up. This might be a bad idea, but we'll find out. All right. We're going to try a little experiment here, everybody.
I think that as long as we put it together.
Learning about blockchain is about a lot more than finding the next big cryptocurrency, at least for some students.
When you get into crypto more, you kind of realize that a lot of what you learn in school is kind of useless.
Rachan Kalyani says it's the key to unlocking his dream job in tech. The college junior co-runs the blockchain club at Cal Berkeley. He and some of his classmates describe it as the next wave of the internet, which some talk about as Web 3.0, especially as Facebook changes its name to Meta and hypes up blockchain as part of that future.
A lot of new companies, like Facebook just released Meta, right? Meta is going to Web 3. So if the biggest companies in the world are transitioning over to blockchain, it kind of feels like you're being left behind unless you move with that.
Berkeley is one of a handful of top universities now offering courses on blockchain, competing with Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Cornell, University of Pennsylvania, will even let you pay tuition in Bitcoin. The head of innovation at Berkeley says not having a blockchain curriculum is no longer an option.
Well, the students are demanding courses and curriculum to teach them about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. There's no question about it. I think I can't imagine any university worth its salt in the US or elsewhere is not already teaching a course or two.
Skeptics say you don't need to fork over $200,000 in tuition to learn about blockchain. Most of what you need is there for free online. But for the universities that do offer it, blockchain is becoming a powerful recruiting tool.
We've literally seen students within their application to blockchain at Berkeley say that they chose this school specifically because they saw what blockchain at Berkeley was doing in the industry.
Berkeley students say interest and headcount in the blockchain club ebbs and flows with Bitcoin prices. This semester's course happens to be in the middle of a Bitcoin bull market. But for cryptocurrencies, it's not always boom times. The asset class is known for intense downturns and what are known as crypto winters. Berkeley students say they're okay with another crypto winter. It'll separate those.
Okay, so I need to contact them and then see if they can do a follow-up interview. Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Nice share, Colby. So we are officially as seen on CNBC. I'm going to add that badge to my website now. That's awesome. Paid interview. That's right. Yep. Yeah, we've made it, everybody. This is a team effort here. It takes people to watch the videos in order for it to rank in the YouTube results. So there you go. So that is actually a pretty good point, though. They're talking about with universities and blockchain, demand. People are saying, "Hey, we have to learn this stuff," and universities are kind of notorious for being behind the curve on technology in general. I'm not I'm not trying to be overly critical of universities. It's just the nature of reality, and you can kind of see that from some of the professors talking about, like, "Hey, the students want this stuff." I think it's. I think it's just a matter of time before we start to see, blockchain curriculum more codified into university tracks with Web 3.0. I got a comment that keeps bubbling up here. So I think it's a matter of time before we start to see that become more part of standard curriculum. Somebody says 1 million subscribers, and hey, we might get there. This time last year, I think I had like 85,000 subscribers, something like that. I actually checked the other day because I was just curious how much we grew in 2021. So we grew to close to 400,000 in 2021. I don't think we won't hit 500,000 in 2021, I don't think, unless something crazy happens over the next month and a half. But if we keep the same pace next year, we'll see. So basically, 315,000 in a year plus. We'd be at 750,000 this time next year. I don't think the pace will increase that much. It might increase some. It's just getting harder to grow that fast. It might though. It kind of gets boomy and busty. It kind of booms and busts, kind of like the crypto market does. And actually, almost everything follows the crypto markets. If Bitcoin price goes up, ETH price goes up, search volume goes up, YouTube views goes up, everything goes up. It's kind of crazy how it works. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. There really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. And if you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? Well, you can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching.